Alright, hey everyone, Christian here from CK Wraps. I'm going to do this on my own personal car. I'm going to wrap the front end of this matte black piece on this Genesis in Vivid. This is the epoxy carbon fiber. So this is meant for interior use only. Where the reason why is that water can get in between the laminates. Now I've been testing this on the rear diffuser part, which is a more textured plastic of this car for, when did I do it? I did it in 2015, about September 2015, as soon as they released this stuff. And it's holding up. It does get water in between the laminates. So what I'm going to do differently in this case, I'm going to try and tuck this a little bit more so that water can't get in between and see kind of how it holds up. So it's been holding up great on the rear. The water does dry out, hasn't caused any delamination issues, so the vinyl is structurally intact and it looks great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in the front. And just to kind of spice it up a little bit. So this comes with a protective layer on top. We're going to remove that. I've got my piece already cut to the shape and size that I need it. It's a little long actually. So I'm going to cut some of this off. Alright, I'm actually going to use the compressor right now to dust this off a little bit. Perfect. Now, as we do this, we're going to have to just contour the film around it. The more difficult thing to do with carbon fiber is to keep the weave looking very consistent and nice. So, now this may show a few imperfections through it because the front end does take a lot of impact. So I'm going to hold this against here with my knee. I'm going to trim off the excess away from the car. Perfect. I'm going to begin peeling the backing off from one end. Now it's a super thick film, and this is how they get that amazing look of it. Just some lint there from the cloth. So yeah, so this is a super thick film. It is meant for interior trim. It is still difficult to do interior trim with it. Your cutting and everything has to be very precise. So, but it does have great tack. So great for wrapping pieces that are maybe a little bit more textured. So what I want to do is I want to center this so that the weave is nice and straight. Perfect. Now, because of the contour and the shape of this piece, we're going to have to kind of bend it into this area in the middle here. I have a new heat gun, and it actually kind of sucks. It's really cool. This is a Wagner one, but you have to push. There's no trigger, and I didn't realize that when I bought it. I dropped my heat gun the other day and it broke. So this has a power button on top, which kind of sucks. It does get really hot, and you can control the temperature a lot better. There are 6 different temperatures on this, it looks like, plus there's different velocity of air flowing through it, so you can change that as well. But it's a bit of a pain having the button on top, so it does have a cool down mode as well. So anyway, so I'm going to turn this on. It starts off in the middle. I'm going to turn up one. Turn the fan up. So when we're heating the carbon fiber, so the gloss isn't as bad as far as throwing the weave goes. It's really, really hard to notice. On the drier carbon fibers like the Truar or Avery or 3M, it's really easy to throw the weave and it can look really bad in the sunlight. While this stuff doesn't show it as much. So it actually does look a little bit better. I'm going to leave that running because it's a pain to turn it off. I want to heat that pretty consistently. Okay? Now, the Genesis comes with a front plate bracket, which kind of sucks, so this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. We're just going to squeegee some of that down. So again, we're going to take the film and work it a bit this way. But the look of this carbon fiber is absolutely unreal. I wish they made it for interior, or sorry, exterior. So what we'll find is if I didn't contour this piece around the front bumper enough, what's going to happen is it's not going to tuck in here really nicely. It's going to be hard. But it seems to be that I've contoured it enough, and all I have to do is lift the film up slightly and tuck it in there without any extra slack. So it's so thick. What I'm going to do is, I'm not worried about if I scratch this up a little bit, it's my car. Otherwise I probably would wash the buffer off or change it, because I just dropped it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a relief cut around the emblem. Okay. Okay. Get rid of some of that. Let's turn this thing off because it's really annoying me. All right, now we can get under here a little bit better. I could remove the emblem. It's actually removing itself right now. Cool. We just gotta work it under here. I'm gonna need a little more stretching near the ends. I'm just gonna take this off. It's really bothering me. The two-sided tape that I have on here sucks. It's really gummy. It's actually, it's Gorilla tape. Let's throw that there. Okay. Cool, I can't wait to see what this looks like when it's done. All right, let's finish off this area over here. It's gonna need a little bit of stretching and contouring. Let's see what happens when we squeegee it. Oh, so it's gonna start to bunch up, and it's gonna get really difficult to work if this film is bunched up, because those wrinkles don't go away the same as they would on a thinner film. So, just a little stretch, nothing crazy. You don't want to overstretch the film, it's just going to pull back on you. Now we can start to release the tension here. I can heat right now, so relax the film before we get to the edges and I'll do all the tucking. I'm going to grab a harder edge squeegee, which is this beautiful gray one right here. Just because the blue ones, the blue 3M ones are very soft. Let's get this under the edge slightly. So again, I don't recommend this for use when it comes to selling it to customers. I have done it for a few people, but people who do know and understand what can happen with this film. Just going to trim some of this away. Let's turn this off. And just keep working the film. I'm just tucking it into the edge a little bit. I don't know if it'll be enough. Like I said, I can deal with the consequences of it not working out if it does end up looking terrible with water getting into it, it being in the front end. Now the rear diffuser on the back is really low, so it's kind of out of sight. People do notice it, but they never notice the water if it has rained or I've just washed it or anything like that. All right. It would have been nice to have put a cover over this when I first got it, but stone chips are pretty bad. And I'm just running the blade right now in the small recess that's there, making sure as I go along that everything's nice and tight and in there. So I removed the tow hook cap, and then we'll wrap that separately, which is just good practice. Shouldn't wrap the tow hook cap, which is right here, all in one piece. It's a lot nicer, it comes out a lot cleaner if we do it all in two pieces. All right. I'm gonna tuck it in under here. Making sure that we're good. Keep going over it, making sure that everything's tight. Let's get some of that out of there so we can create some slack down at the other end. So I do have to stretch this area a bit still. So let's do that. Just a little bit of heat. Just get it to conform a little bit easier. I use the soft side of the squeegee for the most part until we get to the edges. So I'm going to relax it. Okay. Finished. So I just relaxed it. If you couldn't hear me there, I had the squeegee in my mouth. So I just finished that. Just grab the hard edge squeegee. Turn this thing off. I don't need it right now. Yeah, this heat gun sucks. All right. Sorry if I'm in your way. I'm just trying to look to make sure I'm cutting properly here. Now we can get rid of some of this. And I'm not gonna go underneath the bottom. I'm just gonna trim it right off at the bottom. I hear a truck outside. It sounds like FedEx. I'm waiting for delivery. I may have to pause the video. Okay, so I just ran the back of my blade along the bottom here. You can wrap underneath if you want to. I mean, this car is so low that I'm not really worried about it. No one can see underneath, plus it's black underneath, so not a big deal. We're gonna give it a post heat. Clean it all up, make sure everything's nice and tucked in. Go underneath. And that's it. Put the emblem back on, and that's it. So now you can see what that carbon fiber looks like. It looks wonderful. Hopefully they make it for exterior eventually, because I'd probably wrap my whole car in this. It looks so awesome. Anyways, thanks for following, everyone. I appreciate it. If you want to see some more videos on how to install, please hit subscribe. For those of you subscribing, thank you very much. Check out our Instagram if you haven't already. More completed projects, detailed videos, and pictures in that. So thanks, everyone. Take care.